I still don't know how I feel about this theme.
I love it.
I like it, but I don't know. It's something about. I would have just liked her to come out to the song.
No, but see, I like how she put her own twist on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she made it kind of her own. It's updated. I love it. And like the entrance, she does it perfectly with them. It works.
Yeah, it's timed well.
Yeah,
I like that. There's the sound of a jet taking off.
Right.
And the whole deal. So it's still continuity. And of course, that part comes in. And it's just everybody knows what's up with that.
Just makes you want to woo.
Woo! I noticed Amanda's got an Usos shirt on, the Day One Ish. That's a good choice.
Very good choice.
Can't really see. I can only see half the crew today, I think.
Sorry, my camera's not working.
That's all right. Well, this is the War Report brought to you by TaggingADate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for fans of professional wrestling. It's free to sign up, free to send messages and all that stuff. We've got apps coming out very, 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 very soon. And
we will be making the announcement of the release date very, very, very soon.
See,
There's been a slight little setback, but nothing crazy. But I am not confident yet as to the release date. I should know better this week, and then we should be able to make the announcement. It will be very soon. But stay tuned.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. The big day, because I know there's been some changes. If you followed the Tag Me a Date site, it's definitely changed from the first time that I visited it all those years ago. And it's definitely changed for the better. And I'm looking forward to the response the app gets. I want the people to see it, because we've seen it, we've tested it out. It's time for the people to enjoy. People power.
It is coming. It is coming.
Can we ever go one show without a Bella reference?
Oh, is that considered? I guess it is considered a reference.
Of course it is. He's Mr. Bella.
He's Mr. Bella.
True. He probably would legally change his name to Bella too.
Please, it's like, Bruce Jenner was Mr. Kardashian. Come on.
Yeah. Now he's not a Mister at all.
We have a lot to cover.
Yes.
A lot to cover. Because we didn't even did we
No, we
Survivor Series.
Yeah, because Survivor Series happened, and then everybody either got sick or had appointments or other things that got in the way, so we didn't have a show last week. But
good cue, other things, yeah.
So I mean, we've got so much. We've got NXT, we've got Survivor Series, Raw, and SmackDown. I definitely want to talk about Raw and the group because, well, I'll get into that later.
Yeah, can we just say that NXT Takeover War Games was good, and then the rest of it stunk, and then we could save 45 minutes?
I mean, listen, you guys have been very, very harsh in the chat room, whether it be Raw, Survivor Series, this and that. I was unable to watch Raw Monday night, so I watched it today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Survivor Series was better than Raw. I'll give it that.
I just want to point out that prior to watching Raw today, I was reading all the chat in the room, and there has been a lot of negativity.
Oh, here we go.
That Raw was,
not just this chat room, man.
I know it's not just us.
No, it was all over. It was all over. But initially, that's where I was hearing it, and then I would scroll on Facebook, and I was, fans were chanting, we want a refund and this and that. I'm like, oh my God. I said, what the fuck did I miss? So I was kind of like expecting the worst going into it today. And I don't know. I don't really understand. Listen, what was it great? No, not by any means, but I didn't think it was fucking horrible. And everybody made it seem like it was
so repetitive. There's no creativity whatsoever.
An event that really we have to end the show with Baron freaking Corbin again.
Well, I mean, listen, the focus is on him right now. I mean, listen, the big payoff is going to be him getting annihilated.
Okay, but if I'm the person to go into Monday Night Raw and I paid tickets and I brought for all my kids or whatever to go see there, and the main event is freaking Baron Corbin beating and Drew McIntyre and everybody beating the shit out of Finn Balor and everything, I'd want my money back too.
Listen, I kind of get it, but then at the same time, Baron Corbin has been the fucking GM now for how many months? Like,
GM.
So if you bought your fucking tickets to go see that show, already knowing that there's a very good chance Corbin is going to ruin it because he's the GM.
But not main event it. Open the show. Give me my first annoying 30 minutes, not my last 30 minutes.
I don't know who's going to these shows now knowing what they're going to see. Like, how are you still sustained? Like, I just don't understand. It feels like they run the business to make money from the casual people who watch it on TV and the ads that they make and the people who buy the network for $10 a month because they want the archive. And then the last thing they think about is the writing. And they don't, not that you say you have to cater to the fans all the time, but it's about consistent writing that even if it's not good, maybe makes sense. It isn't repetitive. And it's just, how many times can we see?
Been very repetitive. I will say that.
Like you had the option with Seth Rollins issuing an open challenge.
Yes,
and
all right.
Dolph Ziggler.
Honestly, I think
I was kind of pissed about that too.
I think I noticed the response to the show last night got worse after Dolph was announced. Like from the first half of the show was like, all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
you could have lived. You could have lived with it.
Segment was great,
but we had
that was pretty much the open.
Yeah, but he got jumped by those guys, and then later Finn got jumped by those guys. Did they jump 3 people? Did it happen 3 times or twice during the show?
I think only twice.
Only twice. Okay. But the other thing was you had Drake Maverick, who I know has never been given great material in TNA Impact or here in the WWE. He's just not been given the best stuff to work with. And I mean, he's doing okay with it, but why do you now he pissed on the robe? It's just seeing Eric's response to that.
That was fucking hilarious.
It might have been, you know what? It might have actually been the only entertaining thing because the funny thing was he was whistling Bobby Roode's theme while he was peeing. So that was funny. Everything else is like he just kind of pissed on the jacket.
They completely ruined AOP by putting him with them.
Yeah, I don't know why the Authors of Pain have anything.
And now it's just a giant joke.
Yeah, I don't understand that pairing at all. We've been saying that since he came out with them. I mean, there was. They should have kept Ellering. Ellering was a perfect.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Vince
and
was probably
otherwise,
like, he's too old.
That's probably.
Otherwise, put them with Paul Heyman then or something. That would have been significantly better than fucking Spud.
Because even Leo Rush would have been better.
Oh
my man. Could you imagine him with the AOP? That would actually be pretty funny.
That would be action.
Hey, yo, Pink.
On second thought, that's a bad idea. Let's not do it.
That probably was the most entertaining thing of the night, though, was having the robe peed on.
What's bad is I would have to go.
I don't agree with that.
Oh, we had that segment with Alexa Bliss and
oh my God,
Sasha.
That was a horrible segment. I have to say. That was just a very bad
and a masterclass on promos from Nia Jax.
What's the deal with Bliss?
God.
Because it seems like they're really sticking to make her this kind of not in ring performing character now.
For now, yeah.
Is the injury that?
She's not being cleared anytime soon.
Yeah, it's a concussion thing, so that's.
And this is her second one. It's not like it's her first. Like Becky Lynch has had the mild first one. This is Alexa's second, so they're being very cautious with her.
No, I get it. I mean, listen, safety's got to come first. But initially when it went down, they played it off it wasn't a big deal. Like she wasn't going to be missing that much, and then all of a sudden,
now it is kind of a big deal. Yeah,
now they're putting her in the suit every week.
Yeah, and they made it officially official too. That was the other thing.
Listen, she'll do a great job. I mean, she's great on the mic. So, you know.
It wasn't her that was the problem. It was Becky. It was freaking Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah, Alexa's going to get a good reaction no matter what. And those other two girls used to get a good reaction no matter what. I feel like that's changed.
See, but that's because the booking of those two.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
like, Sasha needs to be on her own. Bailey needs to be on. They need to be on different shows.
Yep.
And Sasha needs a heel turn, and she needs to fucking explode and do her thing and become the boss again. And I think that's the only way you're gonna get that again. Listen, a heel Bailey turn, because we kind of got a taste of it for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of believable now, and I'm okay with that too, you know, as long as they're on different shows. I think that's the thing. I know you're keeping them as a tag team because eventually you guys are going to announce, you know, the women's tag title. But I don't know why they're delaying that.
I don't know what. Yeah, well, if you're going to do it, because that's the problem is it feels like whatever they were planning with Sasha and Bailey, they just keep pushing it back, and it's been happening for like 18 months, 2 years now.
Now they put Nia and Tamina together. Like, they're still making teams, so you know it's happening, you know, because otherwise they would stop making these teams.
Nia and Tamina, Team Charisma.
Let me tell you, those two
originally had planned that Alexa, but they had already planned that Alexa and Mickey were going to be the forefronting tag team.
Yeah, and that
can't do it with Alexa Bliss right now.
No.
What do you guys think about Nia using her actually injuring Becky as like boosting herself?
Owen used it when he broke Austin's neck.
Benoit used it when he.
It's a classic move.
You know.
It's a classic, you know, way to get more over as the heel. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it personally.
But it's just her. It's the delivery. Like, I don't
she
know.
does it.
She has to come out with the shirt that says "I broke Becky's face" or something.
Oh,
like, you know, like I broke Wahoo's leg. A little old school stuff. I don't know. There's something we've been talking about this for a while. There's just something that's not clicking with Nia Jax.
She sounded like a Valley girl last night.
Did you guys see her promo with? Well, it was on Raw
last night. Yeah.
I thought she did a decent job. You know, like her delivery was kind of like very cocky and arrogant, and you know.
But she does sound like a Valley girl.
Yeah, she sounded just like a Valley girl. She doesn't believe it at all to me.
I've heard, and this is funny, somebody compared it to Mike Tyson. The way that you look at Mike Tyson and you think he's a tough guy and you think he's got this voice. And then he talks like this. I swear I didn't rape nobody. Like, really? Come on, Mike. We know you did it.
I'm sorry. I'm a little busy wiping Becky Lynch's blood off my hand. I really can't wrestle tonight. Really?
Yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, it needs. I don't know. She needs a whole. Not that she's the only one in the roster. She needs a shakeup. She needs a new outfit. The music, I guess, can stay, or maybe to make a remix of it.
In general, her voice sucks.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But they can do something with that. Like with you know what? I just thought of it. You guys are gonna love this. You remember Nails?
I try not to.
And when they gave the promo to Nails, they would pitch it down. They would just like auto-tune it down. Who's the boss now, boss man? Like, that would be perfect.
The easiest, best solution to that problem is giving Nia a mouthpiece. The problem is Tamina's not going to be your mouthpiece. You know, but
oh my god!
There's gotta be a Samoan left. Like,
you're funny.
There's gotta be a Samoan left in the family that can come back or come and be the mouthpiece and, you know, something. You know what I mean?
What if he got to walk by a satellite?
I would be okay.
Work for Roman when he showed up in the ring.
It's not going to be any of the Samoan Bullet Club.
Unless Tamina goes full Jimmy Snuka, like she wears the leopard print and the bandana, and she just calls everybody brudda, even the women. Like I'd be okay with that. We gonna Samoan drop you, brudda.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
And actually,
somebody can. Oh my God, they're sitting in catering and they're eating. And Drake Maverick is trying to open a coconut and he can't get it. And he flings the coconut in the air and it hits her in the back of the head. And then all of a sudden she wakes and goes, "Hey, brother, don't hit me with that coconut." And then that's how we get the gimmick.
But it's got to be
Superfly
Ronda.
Tamina.
But it's got to be Ronda.
It's gotta be Ronda.
Ronda's
Ronda's trying to open.
I'm just saying, oh my god.
Oh, I've just solved the Tamina problem in like 30 seconds. She gets hit on the head and thinks she's the Superfly.
And how did we get here?
I'm gonna come out there and murder you, brother. And then Nia's like, no, we don't talk about that.
Oh
like dismemberment, for instance.
god.
We better not find you at any gas station, brother. I'm gonna knock you over. Hey, shh, we don't talk about that. No.
I just wanted to mention that Takeover was rated the #1 thing on the WWE network.
It was the most viewed over the weekend, beating Survivor for the first time, and probably not the last. NXT outdraws Survivor Series over the weekend. Amazing.
It had to have. That was amazing.
It was so incredible.
Aside from the fact that I really, and again, I know they did it last year for the better, and maybe they tried to do the same thing this year. You switched out one of the fucking main events 6 days before the show.
Yeah,
I just don't understand. Was it not? Were people like, oh, AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar? We're not going to sell tickets. We're going to. I just don't. I don't like that. The problem with the Survivor Series this year was it felt like you didn't really know what was going to happen going in, what matches were actually going to happen and take place, and who was going to wrestle, and who was injured, and who was not. Like it was just kind of a shit show.
You turned Brian heel 6 days before he basically plays the face against Brock.
Yeah,
I think he played heel.
Yeah, no, he played the heel. But my question is, nothing's been reported. Like we haven't heard any reason as to why they pulled AJ.
His contract is up in
renegotiating or something.
Yeah, he's renegotiating, and he wants less. Not a Brock schedule, but he wants less time on the road.
He's earned it, if anything.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it.
So they took the title from him.
I mean, he's had it for a year.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that they would do it on a on a Survivor or on a SmackDown.
Well, you're right. Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm not the world's biggest Daniel Bryan fan, but any match that didn't, the only way it would make sense for Daniel Bryan to beat Brock Lesnar is if he had pulled a fucking gun out of his tights.
Yeah.
Like I just don't. Even kicking him in the nuts, all this other thing. You're 5'2". He's gonna pick you up and he's gonna throw you, and then he's gonna eat your arms for lunch and save some legs for dinner. Like I just don't.
But that was one of Brock's best wrestled matches.
He sold like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
he made it look a lot more realistic than it had any right to look.
Honestly,
I'm glad the match went the way it did, because for the first 5 to 6 minutes of that match, I was like, "What the hell am I watching? Like, why are they doing this to the guy?" And then some of those Germans. I mean, the way he was landing, I was like, "This is going to be the last time we ever see him alive." And then, and then all of a sudden, the whole match turned, and Brian. I mean, the way Brock sold Brian I mean, it was fun to watch the whole match.
What was it? Paul Heyman said something. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
The way he said, I didn't like that.
But really, I'd argue that's been Brock's best match since he returned in 2012, because all he's done for the most part is like fucking German suplexes and F5s. That's it. He's not the wrestler he was back in the day.
I think he could be though. Like, I understand
it. when he gives a shit.
Yeah, when he puts his mind to it. And again, this is kind of the position that they've.
And it's not on Brock though.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not on him. It's kind of on him because he negotiated this deal. It's also on the WWE because they allowed this to happen. So it's somewhere in the middle there, because they could say, "Hey, Brock, you got to wrestle a couple more match. You know, you got to work 30 more days or 15 more days or whatever it is this year." Or, "Hey, could you put a little more effort into your matches?" Or, maybe he's like, "Guys, I don't like the guys you're putting me up against. I'll put on better matches if you put me against guys I want to wrestle." I don't know. There's got to be some kind of happy medium here, because there are flashes when Brock wrestled Seth. What was that? 3 years ago now? Shit.
Up until Taker came. Out in that match. It was a good match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When they wrestled Taker up until the point where they tried to make Taker do a low blow and there was a fake tap out and all this other happy horse shit that I hated. Hate still.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about Taker interfering in the Seth Brock match.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But I mean, that was probably another moment when Undertaker, like when Brock was actually doing well, is when he's working with the Undertaker. He puts on a hell.
Oh, you know what was a good match for Brock? The triple threat with Seth and John Cena.
Yeah, because the one that kind of sent everything downhill was that one match with Cena, where Cena got the shit beat out of him. Because then they just decided to do that forever.
That made sense for the time, though.
It made sense for the time, but now
that was supposed to be Daniel Bryan back then.
He would have died. He definitely would have died.
Yeah, like, but he was injured before.
I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea to put him out there. Like, I understand it ended up being a pretty good match and all that, but you're putting him out there with a guy that's 3 times his size, a fucking monster who just threw him around. The way he throws the Singh brothers, like he doesn't give a fuck. And then you're going to put him in the ring with Daniel Bryan. Just say, go for it. Throw him around. Oh.
I want to hear Paul Heyman say Maharaja again.
I was just trying to think of what they could do with Jinder and Alicia after this mixed match challenge.
Nothing.
Release them.
I was trying to think
her entertaining. Like I think she's hilarious. Like she's
so cool.
You can't. I mean, she can't wrestle. I don't care what fucking
no, she can't wrestle, but she's funny as hell.
She's hilarious.
No, I'm done with her.
I'm with you, Amanda and Eric.
She's useless.
Yeah.
Right now.
Although
the whole women's division is useless because they don't give a shit about it.
Oh man!
Well, the Raw's women.
You can send
It's been a while since I've been on, so I got some thoughts. All right? And by the way, I only watched Crown Jewel because you said I wouldn't have a leg to stand on by saying anything about it if I didn't watch it. So I watched it, and I'm sorry, Takeover fucking crushed it.
Oh yeah.
Crown Jewel was terrible.
Disputing that.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been, though.
I think Crown Jewel was fun. It was like a house show.
Yeah, it was.
That's what
it was a great show.
Everybody's just now so complacent with WWE product being garbage that you're like, well, it wasn't that bad. That you have to
that's we've just been beaten down over the years.
Listen, I think
we're in an abusive relationship.
I think we just have to come to terms with the fact that we are never going to see the Attitude Era again. You know what I mean?
Drake Maverick's just pissed on a roll.
But NXT is an Attitude Era style.
Yeah, because let me clarify something. The Attitude part isn't all of what made the Attitude Era great. The storylines were actually good. You know, there was it's much more than tits and ass and curse words.
They made you care about a fucking chihuahua. They made you care about a mop. A mop.
Look, Poppy.
Even the 80s boom in the mid to late 80s, the Hulkamania era, that was great. And that didn't have anything. You know, it was just good television.
Mm-hmm.
Brother.
I mean, were there cringe stuff then too? Sure.
But, yeah. I mean, they did awful goofy things with the special effects and all that in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was stupid, shitty things in the Attitude Era too. It wasn't all golden. It was great though.
The top of the card was great.
But I've mentioned this a couple of times. Me, Steve, and Kat are fortunate in our ages because we were able to be kids during Hulkamania and teenagers during the Attitude Era. It was perfect.
Yeah, that was about the best time to be a fan. And not that it's not now. It's just you got to go outside of.
You got to really look for the good now.
Yeah, like Amanda, I was going to send you something. I saw. I forget what wrestling company it is, but there's one going on in Toronto soon. That's going to be like a really big show and a bunch of fucking indie stars and like Lucha Underground guys and Impact guys and stuff. We're going to be on the show. If I see the poster again, I'll forward it to you. But it looked pretty good. So that's what I'm saying. You just got to go outside. You know, like Joey Janela, as goofy as it sounds, Joey Janela might be putting on some of the best shows. And he's just some kid from New Jersey who emailed. You know, he'll email somebody and be like, "Hey, can you bring Hakushi to my show or Hayabusa?" And he wrestled fucking Hayabusa. Was it Hayabusa or is Hayabusa dead?
Hayabusa died.
Hayabusa's dead. No, he wrestled Hakushi and then somebody else. But whatever it was, like he's just getting, and he got Glacier that one time. So I mean, you can just go and find wrestling now. Unfortunately, the weird thing is, a lot of the companies have their own streaming service. It's not like you have cable TV, and then you've got all the selection of wrestling. It's like everybody's got their own streaming site that you have to like either subscribe to or pay for the video, which I mean, obviously support what you're enjoying. But what I'm saying is it's not as easy as turning on the TV. You have to go out and look for it. And that's where most people stop, is they turn on the TV. Oh, I can watch wrestling right here. It's Monday Night Raw, it's SmackDown, whatever.
How long will that last though?
Well, if you're Fox, you hope a fucking long time. Because that would be the worst if Fox spent all that money on SmackDown. And you guys know how bad Fox is about canceling shows early.
Oh, they're great about it.
Like with Family Guy. How many times they cancel it? Like
Trauma.
Yeah, and any television show that's on Fox, if it's not like The Simpsons, they pull it after. They're like, oh, it's not getting enough ratings. 8 episodes? Fuck them. So like I could just see them screwing over SmackDown if it doesn't get the ratings that they want. Bless you.
Thank you. Or just shovel it on one of the sister stations.
Yeah, they could just pawn it off on FX or FXX or Fox Sports 1, I'm sure. But it's so funny to think that after all these years, they've talked about it since the Attitude Era, wrestling on the Fox network. Vince had a couple episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event during the early 90s on the Fox network. And that only lasted 2 episodes, and they fucking canceled it. And that was like 93, 94, somewhere in there. So Fox never wanted to do wrestling again. They were kind of gun shy. But then during the whole boom, when WCW was going out, there was speculation that Fox could buy it or fund it or whatever. When
Such a shame.
Yeah, when WWF was leaving the USA Network and going to TNN, there was speculation that the USA Network was going to buy, start their own promotion or buy a promotion. There was, and Fox was always kind of in the conversation about doing something and never did wrestling. So now here we are.
Could you imagine if they let Bischoff get TV?
That would be WCW on Fox.
No, I'm talking WCW on Fox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On
okay,
like, yeah. But imagine that on Fox, like NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, and they've got a weekly wrestling program. It's unbelievable.
It's not like Fox has that great of weekday programming.
I couldn't tell you a single show that's on Fox
outside of the Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, Simpsons.
All those are all still on. Yes. Yep. Okay. Then I know those. I don't know anything about Fox.
911 is on Fox. That's a good show.
Oh, yeah. You guys talk about that show a lot. What do we got in the mailbag? Oh, speaking of bags, Kairi Sane has cock sacks on her hands and mouth. She has cock on her hands, foot, and mouth. How does that happen?
It's called cocksaki.
Cocksaki.
Yes.
I think I had that once at a hibachi restaurant.
I know you've had that before, Autumn. I'm very well aware that you had it.
She's like,
oh no.
She's like, listen, I had it too. If you little scamps had it, I had it too.
I was pregnant with Alex when Autumn and Rosie had it. Really not good.
That sucks.
Yeah, really not good.
Well, we had cocksaki.
Say cocksaki again. There you go. And now she's doing Orange Justice. Saying cocksaki.
Cocksaki will never not be funny.
You're making Vince choke. That's enough.
Oh boy, I gotta get a soda. Hold on, I want to take a sip of soda as you read a mailbag question. What's the mailbag question?
Okay, hang on.
Cocksaki.
Okay. So I know Kaylee from last week had sent this message because we didn't do the show last week at all. What she wanted to know is, do we feel that the writers took it too far with what Dean was saying about Roman Reigns with that whole last week what he was saying before they got into their fight.
I kind of do, but
Yeah, I didn't really
it's
dig
also
that.
the wrestling business, and they've done some dirty shit. So
Yeah.
you know, there have been times that we're like, wow, I can't believe they're using that, and you know, we're at that point again. I mean, listen, I am 100% sure that they approached Roman and prior, and Roman was good with it.
This is our modern day Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell moment. Or I wish you died in the womb.
Or what about what Paige said about Charlotte's brother?
Yeah,
Right.
that was
Yeah.
Can I be really mean and say on the Bella thing though? I wish that was kind of true. No, sorry.
we don't have to put up with
I
one
wish
of
you
them.
died in the womb. I'm sorry. That one was good.
It would only be called Total Bella. Oh no.
Hey, anyone that had a sister rivalry kind of has felt that at one point.
I see.
One
I'm
sister to another, gotta admit, I felt that a couple of times.
an only child. I don't
See,
Hey,
there you go.
understand the feud.
Kat, who's that lady that was talking shit about the tear gassing and the
Alyssa Milano.
no
What, on my page?
the blonde White House person.
Oh, what? Oh, Kellyanne Conway or Ann Coulter?
Oh, I don't know, it's one of those
What are
two.
we referring to?
Yeah, and then they're all talking about like abortion. She should have been aborted.
Yes!
Oh man.
Applause.
Where's the show going?
We've hit the trifecta. We with the Mike Tyson reference, we had rape, and then we had cancer, and now we've got abortions. We're checking all the boxes tonight for you guys.
We never said we were PJ.
This is why our early sponsor is what we do on our own here. This is why we have not been picked up by a network. It's all good.
That would be. I would love if we had a sponsor. That'd be so funny.
I would too, but we would have been already. It would have been our first and our last episode.
Yeah, this would have been the one. So yeah, I don't know. There's something weird about them kind of implying that if you're a bad person, I know it's just Dean Ambrose, but it's like, the karma's real and it gave Roman cancer because we were bad guys in wrestling. Like, really? You're a wrestling bad guy, so you deserve cancer? Is that really how it goes?
Did anyone feel the awkwardness last night when Corey Graves was asking Renee, and Renee's like, "I just live with the guy."
They're making it very awkward for Renee.
I feel like she's gonna have.
I can't tell you what happens. Like,
I will say this though: what if this is, and I don't know if this is a good idea, but what if this is going to eventually lead to Renee managing Dean and kind of turning heel herself?
The Renee Young heel turn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, she'll still do the commentating, but then when Dean
like
she's gonna go down with him and like, you know.
I would absolutely love that.
She should just do like old school Jerry Lawler heel commentary.
Right, exactly.
Or Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, just
anything Renee does, I am 100% on board for.
Because if she could be
love her,
if she could be even like a tenth of Bobby Heenan, because she could play, all she'd have to do is just be really biased towards Dean a lot.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, she can kind of call it neutral for other people, but she can almost be like Corey, where Corey, no matter what, hates Elias. And who else does he not like? There's Sasha. Yeah, he hates Sasha. So I mean, he's consistent. So she could almost have something like that, where she always supports Dean, and she's got like
Jesse Ventura was like that too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh, Jesse Ventura with his love for Rick Rude because he won the Body Award, the Jesse Ventura Body Award.
That's right.
The fact that when I hear his name, that's the first thing I think of. That's pretty pathetic, but that's okay.
I think of him making fun of Mexicans, but that's me.
Wait, who made fun of Mexicans?
Oh, I'm more thinking lapsed.
Bobby the Brain Heenan used to call Tito Santana. He used to call him Chico.
Chico.
He used to say that when he was doing La Conquistador, he'd call it a pampus to go.
Yeah.
When he talked about the Tatanka, he'd go, "Hi, how are you?"
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
No. All right, so what's some other questions? By the way, I guess we should tell people, if you're listening and you have a question, askthewarreport@gmail.com or tag us on social media @tagmeadate. Use the hashtag AskTheWarReport. And you'll be entered into our WrestleRumble.com pay-per-view pick'em contest, where once a month we select a winner to get a pay-per-view pick'em over at WrestleRumble.com. They're only $5 for you to enter if you don't win, but this gives you a leg up. You get a free entry. See if you can win some great prizes. If you finish in the top 10, you get something cool, usually. Title belt, cash, tickets to a show, merch, lots of stuff. So WrestleRumble.com, pay-per-view pick'em. askthewarreport@gmail.com or hashtag askthewarreport on social media. Any other questions?
Yes. Hold on. Hold on. Why did Raw suck so bad last night?
Please refer to the last 36 minutes of this show.
Yeah.
See, that person wins by default for best question of the night.
Right? I mean,
how would you fix Raw? I think people should switch brands.
Yeah. Switching brands.
How would you fix Raw? Definitely think they need a shakeup. I don't know if it's like switching brands, but Raw just needs a big shakeup.
Yeah, I feel like there was talk online earlier today. I was browsing Reddit, and it's usually a cesspool of scum and villainy, or a hive of scum and villainy, as they say in Star Wars. But they actually had a good idea today. What they called a reverse NWO, where the invading faction was baby faces fighting against the authority or some bullshit. So even just taking some of the guys you already have on the roster, you put fucking Finn, AJ, and the Good Brothers together, and they're the Balor Club, and then they're super over, and people will just jizz everywhere. And there you go. You got big baby faces.
Yeah.
You just pick and choose a couple, and see what happens. I mean, they're kind of doing it with this faction-ish thing that Corbin and Drew and all that. I don't know. Those guys don't. Some of them don't really hit all the buttons for me. I think Drew should just be in a program to be the fucking world champion and fuck this other nonsense.
Amen.
Amen.
But I don't disagree with maybe having a big, since the Shield is out of commission for the time being, maybe have another big faction. Not big in numbers necessarily. Keep it to like 3 or 4 people. Don't overdo it.
There's no problem with having a faction, but make it an actual faction that people want to see.
Yeah.
Even if it's a heel faction, that's fine. But who the hell wants to see Baron Corbin?
But it's this, and it's not just Baron Corbin. I was gonna go look at this.
Oh, that doesn't count, Brian.
But here's the problem. It's not just Baron. It's Baron Corbin wrestling Finn Balor. If I have to see that match one more fucking time, just take the one from 3 weeks ago that everybody forgot and play it live on Raw. Yeah. Nobody's gonna notice.
Do something, change up the commentary.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate, for the most part it's consistent, but yeah, there's what's the difference between the Raw commentary and the SmackDown commentary? Is it just subbing Renee for Byron, or I don't even know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, Michael Cole's not on SmackDown, is he?
No, that too.
Okay, who's it? Todd?
What's his name? Phillips, or Tom Phillips, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Corey Graves is the only one that does both shows.
Okay, so Jim Tom and Tom Jim. No, I don't mind him. Tom's okay.
Yeah,
Byron, I could take or leave. I don't know. I just feel like maybe some different, like they're trying some different things, like backstage segments and stuff, but it's still kind of like, I don't know. Let me put it this way: after Raw, I put on the Edge and Christian's show that totally reeks of awesomeness or whatever.
And it certainly did.
And it was really good and funny, and nothing overstayed its welcome. The skits weren't too long; they were quick. Like, have Edge and that you know what? That's something to shake it up. Have Edge and Christian come on board and help produce a show, or if not Edge and Christian, fucking, I don't know, call Booker T and see what his opinion is. Get the ideas of some new people in there to affect the booking and the backstage stuff, because we were saying the Attitude Era was backstage stuff. That was the stories propelled the rest of the action. And even though there was like Stone Cold getting embalmed by the Undertaker, that was still a big moment. Like there was just cars getting filled with concrete and people getting hit with bedpans. I don't know. Yeah. There's just something about, and I know 3 hours has a lot to do with it, but there's just something about they don't have a focus. It's unfocused.
Part of the reason, and think we can all agree, part of the reason that Raw was so good back then was because it was competing with Nitro head to head.
Yeah, they had to worry about that. Now they don't even care if Monday night. They're like, oh, Monday Night Football is going to beat us. 14 million people watch Monday Night Football. We don't give a fuck. Like, come on.
So we need to have them get some competition in order for us to get a product again?
Well, listen, that's the original reason why they created SmackDown, to try and create that competition just within the same company.
Yeah.
And then the entire SmackDown team gets so totally blasted on the Survivor Series pay-per-view.
They fucked it up a couple times.
Except for the pre-show.
Well, see, and that I don't understand at all why they just totally. I mean, listen, I know Vince just wants to take it home and nail the point home that Raw is always going to be the #1 show. The problem is that SmackDown has been a better show consistently, more so than Raw.
Oh, for sure.
And did you see Xavier wearing a 6-1 T-shirt?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Because here's the thing: if you notice with SmackDown, it was always kind of not initially, but when the brand split happened, it was programmed for a rivalry, and people jumping ship and being traded and all that. Before that, it was supposed to be WCW. That show was supposed to be a WCW show.
Raw was supposed to be WCW.
Was Raw going to be WCW? And then they were going to call it Nitro and then keep whatever. But again, the problem was Vince McMahon didn't want anybody else's brand or vision or whatever to be superior to the WWF or WWE name or superior to Monday Night Raw. And
I heard it was Gunn that talked him into that.
But it's even carried over to now where it's not. SmackDown is still part of the WWE, and he treats it like shit. I don't get it. It's still your product. It's your logo and your belts and your wrestlers. Why make another show that you air look like shit?
And actually, it has the more prestigious WWE Championship belt than Raw.
Right.
Some weird head logic. I don't know where you get to there, but
see, that's the thing. How is it going to be when the Fox deal with SmackDown goes through? Aren't Fox going to want the show to be treated like Raw?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would say Fox would want their show to look good and be presented.
I can't imagine them wanting to look bad.
Yeah, like at least make it competitive.
Fox isn't going to make an investment for it to be a piece of shit second fiddle.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you can still have them lose, like I know it's a predictable wrestling thing, but you have it tied 3-3, and then the last match they lose, and it was a close one. You know, build up the drama. Why is there a clean sweep? Does nothing for nobody.
That's what they did the last 2 years. I mean, we all knew pretty much that Raw was going to defeat SmackDown because this is Vince McMahon. But in prior years past, there's been at least 1 or 2 matches where SmackDown got on the board besides.
Yeah, I know, and they didn't even acknowledge the one. They wanted to keep that clean sweep narrative going. Yeah.
But see, that's what was weird too. That match was on the pre-show. It made a point, but not a point that counted for SmackDown. But the 205 the title match was on the regular show.
Yeah.
Not that I have a problem that the 205 match was on there, because the 205 match wasn't terrible, because it was very good competitors. It was a good match. But that makes no sense, because that didn't count for a point for anything either.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Very good point.
Why wouldn't it count? Makes no fucking sense.
Exactly.
Well, because they're backtracking, because apparently SmackDown was not supposed to win the tag team elimination match, but they made a mistake and didn't realize. So now they're trying to sweep it under the rug as if it didn't happen. And yes, it doesn't make sense, but that's
None of it makes
And
sense.
there's also the tag team match that we're not talking about also that happened on the Survivor Series, the one that Enzo Amore crashed.
Oh, with his
That was
stupid
hilarious.
little, his fucking Beatles hairdo. And he had a shirt on. I don't know if you noticed. It was supposed to
I'm
be
doing good.
right. Instead of how you doing, it was like I'm doing good or I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
If you have to put on a t-shirt that you're doing well, you're not doing well.
No, nobody cares about you, Enzo, anymore. Nobody cares about you.
I'm sorry, I loved it. I thought it was hysterical.
I thought it was hilarious.
I
Well,
thought that
no,
was
I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but
that was more
it was kind of
entertaining
sad
than the
funny.
Yeah, I know that is kind of sad. Like this guy was a, cruiserweight champion, set up to be a top guy. Got fired for not reporting accusations that turned out to be false. So kind of shitty the way he got let go. But at the same time, what ended up happening was people found out that the gimmick and the person are very, very close. There might not even be a difference between the Enzo person and the Enzo gimmick. He's that guy all the time. And people didn't like it. And it's like, oh, we get it. He's the epitome of like Jersey rich. And what I mean is like if somebody from somewhere like Jersey gets a lot of money, they buy fucking sneakers and tickets to the Conor McGregor fight and all this other shit. Like it's not like they, he didn't go, I'm investing in stocks. He's like, do you see my new Air Force Ones? It's like, come on. So he's like hood rich and people.
Staten Island, of course he is.
Yeah, he's new money.
Fake Italian and real leather.
But here's the funny thing though, because the fan that was injured, that was taken out, is actually making the lawsuit against the WWE, not against the Staples Center, not against Enzo Amore.
Yeah, because
it's against the WWE.
It was but it was their the only way they can say that is it was their security guard.
It was their security because
it was that woman.
Staples Center made a statement that he shouldn't have been ejected in the first place because he didn't break any rules of the Staples Center.
Yeah.
He technically did nothing illegal, did nothing except piss Vince McMahon off.
Yeah, but he was interrupting a show. I get like if somebody else
beach volleyballs do that. 10,000 pay-per-views. We get a wave. We get.
Yeah, but they take him away. Like they at least try and take him away. Like the beach balls.
They try to take you out. They don't tackle you.
Yeah, the tackle was a little bit. For the initial reaction, was a bit.
They talked to him, talked him down, got him out of there, did whatever. Vince wants to talk to you in the back, do whatever. Somebody from the WWE security ran and tackled him, and he did not physically put his hands on anybody. That's why that woman got knocked out of her chair.
And the security guard that did it grabbed him like he was the president being shot at by a fucking sniper.
Yeah, he was from the WWE.
That's a very true story.
Staples Center.
She went at like, oh my God. And she was the one that almost didn't let Rob Gronkowski in the ring in Orlando. It's the same woman.
Did she not just all over the place. Gronk was?
Yeah, she had no idea who Gronk was. That you'd think they would have told their own security guard who this person was and that they were going to jump the barricade. But she was doing her job. Yeah, she knows now, I'm sure.
No, I'm talking before.
Yeah, no, that no communication apparently. But yeah, that whole thing was weird with Enzo. He didn't do him. Let me put it this way: it was, it was funny. He snuck in. He wore this stupid wig and then pulled a hoodie up. He took his clothes off, and all of a sudden he's standing on a chair, going, "How you doing?" Like on a surface level, it's funny. He's not doing himself any favors.
The memes are hysterical, like the ET one and.
Yeah. Oh man. Any other questions from?
And the funny thing is, he really didn't cause that big a distraction.
No.
A few of us didn't even notice him.
Yeah, it was like, wait, that was
Enzo? Out that he was there. Then that's when everybody started paying attention to that.
Right, they put 2 and 2 together once somebody announced, like, oh, he was there.
Remember when that dude ran in during that Eddie Guerrero Rob Van Dam ladder match?
And they kicked the shit out of him? Yeah.
When I went
Flip
to
of Triple H laying out that guy who tried to get to Austin.
the last time SummerSlam was in Toronto, it was like 2004. There was a match between JBL and The Undertaker, and some fans to the stage, into the ring, and then security was trying to get him, and then he ran up JBL's limo, and the top of the limo had a spot where obviously one of them was going to go through. So as he ran across the top of the limo, he fell through it. And then
I enjoy any video of a wrestling fan getting involved in a wrestling match and then the wrestler fucking them up for getting involved. It's really on you, like as an audience member. If you're inserting yourself into that, you should expect some kind of comeuppance.
You're expecting a receipt.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. There was one where Vampiro and Mike Awesome were wrestling in the crowd in WCW.
What's on your chest?
And he just, I think it was Mike Awesome just beat the guy came after Vampiro, and then Mike Awesome just beat the tar out of the guy. Oh, and Mike Awesome was not a small guy. Any more questions? Oh, I saw one question that somebody had. It wasn't wrestling related. They asked Amanda why she's so hot.
That was a very diplomatic response, by the way.
Yeah, that was great.
yeah.
Was he okay? I'm going to apologize to everybody from a certain.
Flattering.
Yeah, no. I'm going to apologize to a certain area of the world before I say this. Was he Indian?
No.
Oh, because usually Indian guys. Oh, hello, baby. I like that. You are a beautiful American girl, Canadian girl, whatever, you know. I'm sorry, India. But anyway, continue.
Once again, this is why we are not going to have a network deal.
I apologize first.
I don't think that's the way it works.
Ah, damn it. Aside from
Hit on? Yeah, it actually kind of is, right, Amanda?
yeah, I just generalized the whole nation full of like a billion people. A billion people. His people.
You'll get plenty of text.
As Amanda has stated, it definitely could have been worse than saying she's hot.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
She's gotten much worse, unfortunately. But a lot of women have it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Any other wrestling related questions? Come on.
That's all I had. I don't know.
So, listen, we have a few minutes left.
Yeah, go for it.
What the fuck are they doing with Samoa Joe?
Oh Lord, who knows?
He's the world's best Girl Scout cookie salesman, according to Edge and Christian.
That was a good
I don't understand. I don't understand what you're doing. Like the guy can't win a fucking match. And
come over here.
And the title wasn't even on, like involved.
I know he couldn't even win a non-title match against AJ.
Did they throw Joe a bone here?
I don't understand. But I will say that. Remember how we were going over that list of shit that we didn't know if it was, you know, how old it was. The report.
Yeah.
It was like one of the things was AJ going to Raw. This could be a potential way for them to do it. He doesn't have the title now. Move him to Raw. I mean, you know, that is.
I would flip him and Finn.
Yeah, I expect right after Mania, like around that time.
Matches with him and Seth.
Yeah, AJ Seth would be great.
What's our feeling on Lars? And where's he going? I think he's going to go to SmackDown, but
he's probably SmackDown. Probably be better fit for him, but he still needs to be in NXT. I think he's still too green,
too soon.
He's not even good at NXT, let alone in the main roster. He's going to go in.
And if he went to Raw, if he went to Raw, he'd be screwed.
What do you mean when you say he's not good?
He's really not that good.
No, I don't remember really ever watching him in NXT, so that's why I'm asking. I don't really.
He's been in NXT for like a year.
Yeah, I over a year, I think, because he was signed the same time as Braun, I believe.
Oh, but what about the reports about him?
Yeah,
hear any about that?
Oh, like somebody went back and read his old tweets, and he had said, "Yeah, who gives?" I
mean, I know.
What was the
either
tweet?
From like 2007 or some shit. I don't know.
Either we have to do this for everybody, and then everybody's fired at every job in the world.
There's a point. It gets ridiculous.
What was the fucking tweet?
There was a bunch.
It was was there one about like Stephanie McMahon's sweet tits or something? I don't know.
Masturbate to Stephanie.
Oh boy.
There was some racist comments and also and some other stuff.
KFC's for poor people.
KFC's for poor people. I mean, that's a good tweet. I would have retweeted that.
That's pretty funny. And not for nothing, they have KFC chicken and waffles now. Kind of curious.
I so want to try those.
They're going to be awful.
I don't like KFC anymore because they changed the recipe. But
they did. But I love chicken and waffles, so I'm curious.
I love chicken and waffles.
I love chicken and waffles.
I want to go to Perkins like really bad right now.
I took Steve to the best chicken and waffle place.
That place was on point.
In North Carolina.
That place was on point. That was some of the best I've had.
There was one that used to be in Canada, New York City.
Amanda?
No.
I went to Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles in Atlanta, and that was the best so far. The very, very best.
Nice.
Yeah,
No, fried chicken.
I
tried it at IHOP once, and it was terrible.
No, the IHOP.
Oh, come on, why are you gonna go to IHOP?
Chicken tenders. It's not even fucking chicken. It's horrible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
In New York City, there used to be this spot
really
called
disappointed.
Hip Hop Chow. And you can still find this chef. He's an Asian. I think he's either Asian or half Asian. And he did the Hip Hop Chow was Asian food and soul food combined.
That's right.
So he did chicken and waffles. Yeah, it was in the city, and I think it's been closed for a few years now. But he would make a really good waffle, and then the chicken would be battered and fried like Asian chicken, and it was really good. Oh, and then one time I went to go try and find it, and it was fucking closed. And that's what happens in New York.
There's a place by me that combined did like a burger sushi fusion. They call it Cowfish.
Good
we have those here. Yep.
I've never had a ramen burger.
We have sushi burritos here.
I love sushi burritos.
That's just like a giant sushi roll, right? I can deal with that.
Yeah, but oh my god, they're so huge and they're so stuffed. They're amazing. It's like all these different types of fishes in them with the avocado and the wasabi mayonnaise and everything.
Could I just get a Philadelphia roll one? That's what I would want. Just a big Philadelphia roll. Okay, I'm on
like
board.
a Philadelphia mixed with like a California and have it done like that.
I'm on board. I got to find one of these places.
Hey, so real quick, we got 3 minutes left.
So we're not talking about dinner because we're all hungry, and I have my oven is on, and I'm ready to start cooking.
How far are you from Mystic?
Like 50 minutes.
Go fish.
Ah, okay.
What are our feelings on where this Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins feud is headed?
What kind of thing was he getting? Like shot was he getting yesterday?
He said he was getting shots for all these different
a rabies shot and a flu shot because he was afraid that he would get sick from going to the next city because the universe will give him these diseases and shit. So those are ultimately what the shots were.
I think you just get sick from watching Raw.
I feel like they haven't thought of a good reason. What happened was Roman got sick and said, "Hey guys, I'm going to leave. I got to go take care of myself." And then they were like, "Well, we could just have Dean turn that same night." And somebody piped up was like, "But what about the next 3 weeks after that?" And they're like, "Fuck that. We're just going to have him turn heel tonight."
We'll deal
they
with
didn't think it out
from tonight.
But what did he hasn't explained himself. He hasn't they haven't I think they haven't thought of a reason. And if you haven't thought of a reason, you shouldn't have turned him.
Mm-hmm.
At least something shitty. Be like, I'm still not over 2014 or whatever the fuck. I don't care. Something's gonna something.
Yeah, it'd be at least continuity.
They made me weaker. The better excuse was I'm going to turn on you before you turn on me.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been like, I've seen this before. We've been down this road before. We're not so different, you and I. All the cliche movie stuff.
Yeah.
Go into it.
Get the swirling chair, have them turn around. We're not so different, you and I.
We didn't have time this week to tackle this, but we need to talk about it next week. All Elite Wrestling.
Oh, yes. That's a very interesting proposition. Because if it actually comes to fruition, and from what I can tell, I think it was Gabe Sapolsky who's of Evolve right now, Dragon Gate, formerly of Ring of Honor. He said that 2019 is going to be a big year for independent wrestling. Kind of dropping these hints. Not, and he's already involved with the WWE, but what he's saying is from the things he's heard, there are a lot of people dropping breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
that something's going to happen, and we already know from copyright and trademark filings that something is happening. We don't know what. We don't know who exactly is involved, aside from the Khan family that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the only people we know. Yeah, but there's speculation that it involves, of course, the Elite. Some of the trademarks that were filed were all out, Double Down, or Double or Nothing. They had a couple different show names. Tuesday Night Dynamite or something like that. I like that. They trademarked a bunch of stuff.
They could even use that as to get creative leverage should they sign with WWE.
Yeah, I mean they can use, but I honestly I think it's them. Like we'll talk about this more next week, but there's nothing about it because everybody's trying to keep it quiet, like something's not going on.
Yeah,
something's going on. Like you can feel it out. These guys all want different roles. Cody's backstage producing segments and all this stuff. Like they're learning how to promote the business and how to write and how to agent the matches. These guys who were in the Elite, formerly the Bullet Club, that's what they're doing. They're learning all the outside stuff so that they can take that knowledge and deliver a new product.
Maybe work with the NWA or something and make something.
Yeah, I feel like the NWA might be working with Ring of Honor more now. I don't know. But the NWA needs something because they gave the title back to Nick Aldis and now nobody gives a fuck. And they've got Willie Mack, who's awesome, as their North American champion. And we don't know what the fuck. Like, just needs more. Like, he needs to be fight. If you've got these champions out there, you need to be fighting people that people know, like your Codys and your Bullet Clubs of the world. They even he wrestled Flip one time for the NWA Championship to Nick Aldis. So I mean, it would be good if they could get more awareness. So yeah, maybe this new company bridges the gap between some new, No, we got SmackDown.
Oh, it's time for the man.
Yeah,
it's time for the man.
Yeah, Amanda sent us a message that
the man is on.
Becky's on TV, so we're gonna all go watch that. This has been the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for fans of professional wrestling. With a roster of over 70,000 superstars and divas, you can find your tag team match on TagMeADate.com. It's absolutely free to sign up, free to send messages and post updates. There is no paywall. So sign up at TagMeADate.com. Follow us on social media at TagMeADate. That's Instagram, Twitter, etc. And also, subscribe here on YouTube. Tag Me a Date. Again, Tag Me a Date. All those words, squish them together with no spaces, make one word. Tag Me a Date. You put it in the search bar. You'll find our YouTube channel where you can subscribe. You can hit the bell for alerts for when we upload a new video or go live. And, of course, we go live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time. Adjust your clocks accordingly, depending on where you live. If you live in a different time zone. And, of course, yeah, just stay there on the YouTube channel you can go through our archive of past shows, and you can stay apprised of what our next show will be, all by hitting the subscribe and the bell on youtube.com, Tag Me a Date account. So we'll see you next week. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m., we'll be back at it again for another episode of the War Report. On behalf of all the wonderful hosts here, whoa, Jesus Christ. We'll see you, I don't know what that was. I had a heart attack. We'll see you next week, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday.